John Cena, Roman Reigns in the ring. And of course, Roman Reigns is your world champion. He's been the champion for over 1,100 days. It's amazing how much SmackDown feels different with a world champion being on the show. Ain't that interesting how different the show feels? It actually feels important. Actually feels like must watch. And yes, Roman Reigns is great, but it also has to do with him being the world champion. So John Cena, in many people's eyes, was probably going to call out Roman Reigns to get a title match, but he does the opposite. And he says he does not deserve a world title match and says someone else does, in LA Knight. LA Knight, who is probably the most over guy in the company outside of Roman and Cody. And I know people are excited about it. LA Knight came out, looked like $1 million bucks, sounded like $1 million bucks, and had a great promo against Roman. Looked like he'd been there a billion times already. And even though I like the visual, and even Roman Reigns looking into the camera shot of Roman Reigns looking into LA Knight's glasses, a la Vince McMahon and Bret Hart going into WrestleMania 26. Even though I like all that, I completely disagree with John Cena. LA Knight does not deserve and has not earned a title shot versus Roman. Why? Because what has he done? Now really think about it. Who has he beaten to deserve a world title shot? There's a reason why I said a few weeks ago, LA Knight must turn on John Cena. Why? Because in my eyes, the way to put LA Knight over is not in a tag match, but in a one-on-one match. It should have been LA Knight versus John Cena at Fastlane or Crown Jewel, to where John Cena puts over LA Knight, who John Cena is a 16-time world champion. They're calling John Cena the GOAT, even though that's all propaganda. But John Cena is one of the biggest faces in WWE in wrestling history. By having LA Knight beat him 1, 2, 3, that puts LA Knight over more than any other match he could have with anybody outside of probably The Rock. Why did they not do that? Why did they do this random tag match, which at the end of the day did not really mean anything? They should have just did LA Knight versus John Cena, to where LA Knight beats John Cena, to where it would have been a pseudo number one contendership match. So now LA Knight is believed to be a main eventer. Now LA Knight can challenge for the world championship, and you go from there. But even then, I still will not do LA Knight versus Roman Reigns. Why? Because you're going to have LA Knight lose. There is no way LA Knight is beating Roman Reigns. So what happens then? Now you have to beat your hottest guy on SmackDown right now and in the company right now. So now he loses momentum, just like y'all did with Drew, just like you did with Sammy, just like you did with Cody. We're doing the same thing over and over again, where you have a hot guy who are people ready for, want to see win, but they're eventually going to lose, and now it's just like we're back at square one. It's just like, no, I don't want to see LA Knight and Roman Reigns right now. I do not. But that's what we're going to probably get. And it's going to be fun. They'll probably have a great match, but he's going to lose, and then he's going to be right back at square one. So I'm not cool with that. So then they have Triple H come out and announce that Adam Pearce is now the Raw GM. Not mad at that at all. And Triple H announces that there is a new SmackDown GM. Not mad at that. Who is Nick Aldis? Which I'm like, that is insane. Now, of course, he did not get a big pop or anything, because he's never was that big of a deal in terms of the wrestling fandom. He just wasn't that, but I like it. I really do. I really appreciate it, and I hope to do something with it. And off rip with him going kind of slighting Dominic Mysterio, which I like. Triple H is going to be Triple H, and Triple H, who pokes fun at trolling the internet in the wrestling community with, wow, I thought the boos you got always were piped in, because every time Dominic Mysterio comes out, it just a course of boos. Like, I have never seen anything like that in my life, and I'm guessing it is real. He said, you know what? Take my mic. Right? Again, I think it's probably a shot at Brian Alvarez and Dave Meltzer, who has made speculations of what's been going on. He said they're probably lowering his mic. So Triple H says, oh, you know what? Here's my mic, Dominic. Why don't you try talking into this one? So he's like completely trolling the idea that Dominic Mysterio is getting piped in noise and then lowering his mic, which he still may be doing. Who knows? But yeah, Nick Aldis is now the SmackDown GM, and they finally addressed the trade, which Jey Uso went to Raw thanks to Cody, and the person that went to SmackDown is Kevin Owens. Again, we all know who we wanted to be traded over to SmackDown. We all know who we wanted, but it was Kevin Owens. Now, I'm not mad at it, especially because of where it could go with Sami Zayn on Raw. But for me, it's just like, I guess it was more of a I guess. Yeah, like I'm not mad at it. I'm not super happy. I'm just like, I guess. Okay, you split up Cammy. You split up Kevin and Sami. Okay. They kind of ran the course anyway. But we all wanted Cody to be the guy to be traded. You know, it made the most sense. It's like he did the Avengers, the whole Soul Stone. You traded someone you love for the Soul Stone. Like, it should have been Cody who pulled strings, which I don't know what strings he pulled, but was able to pull strings to get Jey over to Raw. So it should have been Cody to go over to SmackDown. It makes the most sense. But that didn't happen. That also makes me feel the way. Which it probably can't happen because you still have Raw talent being on SmackDown and SmackDown talent being on Raw. Prime example, your World Tag Team Champions. Can someone explain this to me, how you have a Raw GM, a SmackDown GM, a World Champion, a WWE Champion. You have a Women's World Champion, a Women's WWE Champion that's supposed to be exclusive to their brand on Raw and SmackDown, yet you still have tag titles that are not split up. How does that make sense? Why? Why have they not split the titles yet? Can someone explain that to me? So you have Cody and Jey on SmackDown defending their titles or having a tag team title match. And it's like, there's no way that Cody could have been a guy to be traded because he's already promoted for the show that it's like, man, I don't understand what they're doing with these tag titles, man. Because I feel the Hurt, Profit, Street Business should be the tag team champions. Which, by the way, since I didn't talk about Fastlane, and I don't really care to, I think it's completely stupid to have Carlito, who, all respect to Carlito, beat Bobby Lashley. I thought that was stupid. And beat the Street Hurt Profit Business. Like, I thought it was stupid. I just thought it was stupid. I thought it was completely stupid. The Street Hurt Profit Business should be completely dominant right now. They should have the tag titles. Lashley should have the US title. And it should be LA Knight challenging Bobby Lashley for the US title and eventually beating Bobby for the US title to then gradually have LA Knight compete for the world title. That's the way it should go. This way it's always been. It's like, it's not rocket science, guys. So, but I like at least they have Bobby in the Street Profit Hurt Business take out Carlito. At least they did that, showing the more heel side of the Street Profits, and hopefully they can start really leaning into that, so they can challenge for the tag titles and eventually split them damn titles, so that there's a tag title for SmackDown and tag titles for Raw. But we'll see. But yeah, Cody and Jay. Which, by the way, that finisher, Cody, I don't know what's going on, but they might have to finish that. Stop doing that. Because it seems like you keep getting injured every time you do it now. So maybe you need to stop doing that. But I do like the tease of having Roman, Solo, and Jimmy go face-to-face with Jay and Cody, with Cody and Roman doing the whole face-to-face. And I know a lot of people were hype about that. I was even hype about that. Everybody probably had goddamn Limp Bizkit in their brain playing just one more fight and I'll be history. I know everybody was playing that in their mind. But even though I'm hype about it, I'm like, we're really gonna have to wait till WrestleMania 40. Like, I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but it's like, god damn. I really wish, I know it's probably not gonna happen, but it's like, could we not do Cody and Roman at Survivor Series or at Royal Rumble? Because if you do it at WrestleMania 40, it's going to be just like Rock and Cena at WrestleMania 29. It's going to be completely predictable. It's going to be lackluster because they're not going to probably add any type of stipulation or any type of specialist to the match. So it's going to be the same match. So you're making people pay your biggest show of the year. You're going to make people pay for the same main event twice. It's just like, I don't care for it. I don't know how. I wish someone in creative, Triple H, someone could be like, please do this match at Survivor Series or at Royal Rumble so we can finally get the title off Roman, so we can do Roman and Rock or Roman whoever. But that probably won't happen. So I'm really just wasting air. But besides that, we got a nice little... Charlotte, who gets another world title. Charlotte might, when it's all said and done, might have the record for most world title championship matches, because I have never seen someone who constantly is surrounding the world title. Like, I didn't even see Hogan do this. I didn't even see Cena do this. I didn't even see Austin do this. I didn't even see Triple H do this. Like, this is ridiculous. All Charlotte is a story based around the world title. She never has any other feud. So now Nick Aldis gives Charlotte another world title match. I'm just like, well, it's just like, god damn. And it's probably safe to say that she probably is going to win the world title soon, because they're not going to see they don't see any value in Io. She's just a placeholder for whatever they want to do at WrestleMania, which probably going to put it on Charlotte, to where Charlotte will defend it against someone who she saw tonight in Jade Cargill, which I'm like, ooh, this is interesting. I kind of like this. I do feel with Jade, since she's probably going to be on the main roster, it looks like they're making her a very big deal. You almost have to do a Goldberg with her. Make it to where she's having these 2-minute matches. You ain't got to do too much. Just a little bit of glitz and glamour. You can hide her flaws. And eventually have it to where she wins it's going to be between her and Bianca that's going to win the women's Royal Rumble this year. Like, that's without question. In my opinion, I think you're rushing it. I think this needs to be, I think I said this in my previous video, to where Jade should be challenging Becky. It should be Jade challenging Becky for the NXT Women's Championship, and have her, and maybe they might still do that, have her beat Becky and then have Jade on NXT for the next year or so that she can start really developing her wrestling skills since she's only been in the game, like 3 years, if that. So she's still a newbie for real. So NXT, you can kind of hide her. But yeah, that's what I would do. But it looks like we're probably gonna get Charlotte and Jade at WrestleMania, I'm thinking. I just hope that Jade can, in terms of personality, in terms of all that glitz and glamour and showmanship, she has that. But I'm worried that when we get to the wrestling part, she's just going to start to be exposed. So a little bit worried about that. But in terms of the idea of seeing Charlotte and Jade, I like that. I just kind of think that probably should be something that y'all should save at WrestleMania. Not WrestleMania, at SummerSlam the following year. But with that being said, I think that was everything major that happened. Jimmy, yay. At this point, I don't even know what they're doing with Jimmy. I don't think Jimmy knows what Jimmy's doing with Jimmy. Jimmy being back in the bloodline would make sense if they were telling the story that Jimmy felt irrelevant out of the bloodline, so the only way he could feel relevant is if he went back to the bloodline. But that still does not make sense because he was the catalyst for him and Jay leaving the bloodline. I just had to say that. Hot damn, it's just so stupid. It's amazing me how stupid Jimmy trying to be back in the bloodline is. It's just again, Cody, I'll say this until Cody wins it, even after. Cody should have just won at WrestleMania and this will all be fine. It really would. Everything would be fine. If Cody would have won at WrestleMania, all this would have been better. But that is not the case. So we got to deal with what we got to deal with. But yeah, that was SmackDown. That was my review of SmackDown. And again, I know a lot of people are speculating about a certain someone coming back at Survivor Series in Chicago. And I think this is the perfect time to finally speak on that right now in my next video. So with that being said, let me know what you thought about SmackDown. And like, comment, subscribe, share all things are the things. This Hayes Arcade, your hardcore casual fan. Welcome to the hop, bitch. And if you're not down with that, I got 2 words for you. Suck it.
I'm the best. I'm the best in the world.